Hi, what's going on, everybody? This is your girl Aquarii Moon, and today we're posing a question to the Oracle of what to expect from your relationships in June 2019. Relationship questions have been popping up a lot, and so I wanted to start my first pick a card show asking this question. So I want to first open up our session today with a bit of a centering meditation. And so let's go ahead and I'm gonna get some sage to go ahead and clear our space. So I want you to whether you're driving, whether you are sitting, on break or something, or just lounging around, take some deep breaths all the way till you feel like your stomach's kind of poking out. So you want to take some really nice deep breaths and clear your mind. You may have a lot of thoughts going on right now, and that could be because of some of the astrological things going on, but clear your mind, take some deep breaths, and think about the question regarding relationships that you are involved in and what to expect for the month of June, what things you need to be aware of, what things you need to be really mindful of, so that you don't get washed up in the current, okay? And when you feel ready, I don't want you to rush, but when you feel ready, go ahead and pick a card set here. Okay, we have the healing disc, we have the pyramid and portal, and then we have the pendulum. And so I'm going to take a little moment here and get myself centered some. So really just quiet the mind and focus on the question at hand. Make sure you pick one of the cards here. If you pick more than one, that's fine, but it's better if you pick one, so that that's going to be the more solid of an answer for you and guidance. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hop right in. So we're going to start with the healing disc. Okay, so we're going to put these here so that we have some room. Okay, so for those of you that picked the healing disc, we're going to go ahead and lay out the cards. I do the Tree of Life layout. It just helps really it helps to signify, certain things. It also has included in it like your navel area, your heart space, your throat, your spleen, your base. So it has coordinating parts to your body that can help, give you a better answer. You may, for example, be having a stomach ache or something, and there's something going on that's causing that to happen, obviously, besides, if you're hungry or something. But anyway, let's get into it. Card number 1 looks like it is the Temptation card, bearing number 57. Card number 2 is the Guardian. Okay. Card number 3 is As Above, So Below. Card number 4 is Dangerous Pussy, or something about the past. Card number 5 is Horseplay. Okay. Card number 6 is the Wish Fulfilling Gem. I'll kind of pull these down a little bit. The Wish Fulfilling Gem. Card number 7 is the Holocaust. Card number 8 is the Cosmic Carrot. Card number 9 is Castles in the Cloud. Okay, and then card number 10, which is the Wheel of Great Time. Okay, so we're going to go through each of these. All right, so the first card that was drawn is number 57, which is the Temptation card. Okay, the Temptation card bears number 57, and it's signifying the path of oculate choice. And according to this card, it is an earth sign card. So there's going to be a tempting offer, yet a decision has to be made, which should be based on the highest motivations of you, okay? And because it was located in the navel area, there's going to be a psychological turning point for you regarding your relationships, okay? Card number 2 is 36, or the Guardian. Okay, and this is a very interesting card, and it has a lot of a big significance. So it's signifying entry into a higher tantric initiation, and this is a fire card. Okay, and this is actually in the spleen area of the layout, and so you want to be very cautious because it is in the spleen area. There is a danger of a possible digestive malfunction or an energy leak on the psychic level of entities or spirits. So if you are into spirituality and things like that, and you're you're maybe encountering some rough patches, you may want to take some caution and really look at the people and relationships that you are in, because you're having an energy leak, basically. Okay, so you want to be very cautious. Card number 3, which is As Above, So Below. Okay, and it's bearing the number 35. It's signifying a resolution of complementary cycles of activity. This is very much a heart card, and it is one of the influences because it is surrounding the card number 6, which is the heart space. And so it's indicating an opening of the heart center, and also the refinement of emotions. So you probably are a person that is pretty hard on people. So you've been or you will be actually kind of opening up a little bit and not being so closed off to other people. And with it showing up around the heart space, it's suggesting an attainment of balance and insight into the mysteries of metaphysics. Okay, so it's a little added bonus there. Card number 4 is Dangerous Pussy, or the Past, bearing the number 62. Okay, and so this card signifies the oculate transmission of power as gnosis. Okay, and this is the high potency point of entry into the oculate transmission. It's a protector card to those who value absolute truth and a ruthless destroyer of those who deny it. Okay, and it's signifying a type of mystic initiation. Okay, so there may just be something from the past that's trying to come through to you. More than likely a spirit guide that is helping you. And like I said before, these are your unconscious thoughts this is your unconscious thoughts. So You know, that's a good idea. I didn't really. Here, I'll do that after I go through the cards. I'll point out, you know, each position. My bad. I forgot to do that, um, but yeah, there's going to be a type of mystic initiation going on in your relationships with people around you. Card number 5 is horseplay, and it's bearing the number 47. Okay. This card is a really interesting card. If I can get it where you can see it a little bit better. It's signifying the self moving along an oculate path of spontaneity. There's going to be a doorway through to the spontaneous imagination, and because it's around the heart space, it's basically telling us that there's going to be an uplifting of the emotions through a mystical experience, an affair based on a mystic bond. Okay, so more than likely the person or the relationship is going to come through someone that's also into mysticism or the occult, studies and things like that. So, that's just kind of, just a heads up, so that way, if you are looking, or if you have been reading books and learning about metaphysics and the things that a lot of people don't talk about, you're going to find someone to be able to share that with. You're going to, come across them while doing those things. Okay. Let's see. Okay, card number 6 is the wish fulfilling gem. Okay, which is a really interesting card. And all these cards are really they really give some insight. And this one, I pulled my cards a couple days ago, and this one came up for me, and it really just settled me, because I was distraught and stressing out about some things. So it really helped to clear, and that's why I like doing this, because it does help to give an answer, especially to those situations where a yes or no answer will not suffice, right? Okay, so this card, it signifies harmony coming in, and there's going to be a balanced blend of intellect and emotion, and it's a very potent boon card in this deck, and it usually or always is interpreted as the fulfillment of a wish, though the emphasis is on the mystic rather than the worldly. Okay, and it tells us of spiritual guidance and the ultimate realization. So in all, it's just indicating coming into balance and harmony. Okay, which is going to be really good, especially when it comes to those relationships that you're questioning or thinking about. Okay. All right, card number 7 is the Holocaust. And when I first saw this card, I was like, what the heck? But it just really signifies victory, actually, and it's really related to the cosmic function of the sun. There's going to be a necessity to change your standpoint and to take decisive, dramatic action. Such action is basically on the self, to rid it of all confusion caused by ego motivation, and to free yourself from all worldly attachments and securities. So because you're receiving this card, you should consider that all events in the outside world are but reflections of your inner needs, desires, and motivations, and that shock tactics can be consciously employed so that one becomes aware of being the cause of a situation as well as receiving the effect. So this is really telling you that you can't just wait for the other person or for those others. Like, you have to be the one to step up and, you know, play the more important part in the relationship. Okay. And don't let those around you walk over you, because that will definitely put you in the wrong direction. Okay. So card number 8. Okay, so card number 8 is the Cosmic Carrot, which is another really interesting card. So the Cosmic Carrot is signifying the high potency of the oculate transmission. It's the perfect multiple of the number 7, an expression of the mystic teachings related to the inner protective circle of the self. So you have an earnest desire for liberation and enlightenment, okay? And it's showing up as an indication of the need for spiritual and physical discipline, such as yoga or meditation. And because it is in the head space, it's suggesting that such a path has been taken and will come to fruition. It's very, very much an oculate card. So you've already been, you know, doing your thing, but now is the time to actually really trust yourself. You know what you really want, and you know your relationships are yours to control, basically. So trust in yourself. Okay. Card number 9 are the Castles in the Cloud, and it's signifying the higher development of the will. Okay. So follow through your deepest wishes with the power of the will. Do not allow any bodily laziness to prevent inner desire from becoming realities. Okay. And because it's around the heart space, there is an indication that a change of residency may be the outcome to the question. So you are probably or have been thinking like, man, I need to move. I need to get to a space where I can feel free, where I can be and do all my secret stuff, you know, learning about magic or learning about tarot or learning more in depth about the occult and about mysticism and things like that. So more than likely you've been playing around with that idea in your head, like, should I move? I really, you know, you may have even found some places, but have been hesitant in actually pursuing it. And it would probably benefit you to proceed with that. Because this card is very positive, and so you want to go ahead and put your effort towards completing whatever it is that you've started. So if you started, you know, putting in applications or talking to rental places or even house sellers, if you're planning to buy a house or buy a somewhere to live, you need to go ahead and complete that. Okay. And card number 10, always signifies the answer, or basically the sum, you know, the sum of everything that was presented in the other cards. And so card number 10 is card number 10, bearing the number 10, which is the wheel of great time. Okay. and it signifies the completion of a cycle of time. It's the coming together of the digits 1, which is the unity, with 0, the voidness, of which all things emerge, and into all things dissolve. So all things are ever changing in a state of flux, yet there are cycles of such activity. This card indicates success through the completion of time cycle and unexpected change of luck for the better. Okay, so your relationships are going to be on the up and up as long as you take control of the situation. Okay, don't let people this month dictate the types of relationships, the way the relationship is going to go. You want to be the one that dictates that. Okay, and so those are things I want you to think about and take into consideration during the month of June. Okay, so I wanted to, before I kind of dismantle this, so card number 1, okay, is the navel area, and it's the situation. Card number 2 is corresponding to the spleen, and it's the opposing forces. Card number 3 are your conscious thoughts on the matter. Card number 4 were your unconscious thoughts on the matter. Okay. Card number 5 is the base and the influences that are passing out of the situation. Card number 6 is the heart space and those things that are going to be coming in. Card number 7 is the self. It's referring to the self on that one. Card number 8. Card number 8 is here, which is correlated and corresponding to the throat space. All right, and then card number 9 are your hopes and expectations about the situation, and then card number 10 is the actual outcome. Okay, and so you can go back in. I'll also leave timestamps in the description so that you guys can jump to those as you want. All right, and so we'll go ahead and get these together here. All right, and so that was for group number 1 that picked the healing stone, or healing disc, excuse me. Okay, so for those of you that picked the pendulum, okay, we're going to go ahead and lay your cards out. All right, so card number 1, we have totally bananas. Card number 2, we have self-created. Card number 3, we have deep end, the deep end card. Card number 4, we have just passing through. Card number 5, we have the cremation ground meditation. Okay. Card number 6, it's the white lady, mother of pearl. Card number 7 is the scarlet woman. Card number 8 is Mercury. Card number 9 is amusement. And card number 10 is the rose garden. Okay. I'm gonna move some stuff. Please bear with me. I'm trying to get some space here so that I can start doing this more often. It's a little bit different doing it on camera than it is in person, so please bear with me. But let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so again, we are on the group that picked the pendulum. Okay, so your first card that was drawn is number 55, and it's the totally bananas card. Okay. which is a really interesting one. So it's signifying the path of psychic release, okay, and it's the release of latent energies, but without the conscious knowledge of how to direct them. And because it's in the navel, it's the psychological position of liberation from the norm and a definite change of viewpoint. Okay, so you're definitely going to be having a change of view on this situation, which is, your relationships and people that you're involved with in the month of June. So you want to make sure you take that into consideration. Card number 2 is self-created, and it bears number 11. Okay, a really beautiful card. I like the artwork that they did on these. So this is signifying the integration of unity as recognition of the principle of self-creation. It is a new beginning related to the 11-year cycle of the sun. And the meaning of this card, it's signifying self-reliance. Okay, all creativity can be found within the self, manifested as a seed, which can become a blossom. Okay, and this is a very, very favorable card. Okay, and card number 3, which is the deep end, bearing number 51. It's a picture of a mermaid. And it's signifying the path of the self as related to the evolution of the psyche. And it's telling you to abandon restrictions made by the ego. Okay, let yourself go freely into all enveloping ocean of emotion. This represents a situation where one finds oneself in an alien environment needing adaptability. And because it's in the position of your conscious thoughts on the matter, there's going to be a bit of some emotions that you're fighting with consciously, and you just may be having some issues with that. You're feeling a little bit on the isolated, or being by yourself. You're feeling like, man, I'm always by myself type of vibe. Okay, so you want to be careful of your emotions. Don't be restricted. I mean, acknowledge that emotion, but don't be restricted and fall victim of it. Okay, so you just need to be really just aware of your surroundings and feel at ease within your own skin. Okay, is kind of what it's summing up to be. Card number 4 is 31, and it's just passing through. Okay, so this card is signifying the recognition of the principle of Trinity and unity combined together as the expression of the fundamental truth of worldly existence. And because it's your unconscious thoughts on the matter, and it's surrounding the heart space, it's showing it shows the tendency to transcend the heaviness of emotional ties to the world, and an acceptance of the free nature of the spirit. So as I was talking about with the deep dive card, you've been dealing with a lot of emotions and things like that, but the just passing through card is letting us know that you are also able to let those go. So you've been able to balance, you know how to balance your emotions regarding those that are around you, but you just still want to be aware that You know, other people can and will try and throw their emotions onto you. So you just want to continue staying balanced with your emotions, and don't let people push you out of your comfort zone. Okay. All right. Number 5. Okay, so the 5th card is cremation ground / meditation. Okay, and it's bearing the number 7, signifying the law of 7, the oculate path, and the mystical perfection achieved through becoming one with this principle. It is the number of the octave, the recurring natural harmonic to which all worlds and elements are subject. Okay, so it's telling you that you need to develop the faculty of visualization and meditate on the transient nature of all things connected to this world. In doing so, you will gain power from this concept, and it will become a ground of reference for all action. This card suggests a spiritual rebirth, but this can only be achieved through the development of concentration, so that the inner eye will be able to see through all material phenomena. Courage and fortitude are needed, but the implication is that ascendancy is within reach, perhaps even already achieved. Okay, and so with that, you're going to be stepping into a new set of kind of powers, as long as you are focused, and you may have already gone through a spiritual rebirth, or you're going through a type of spiritual rebirth where you've been having questions. You know, it could be relationships at work, relationships at church. You've just started in doing some investigating on your own, and you're finding that you know, a lot of stuff maybe isn't lining up with, you know, the truth and things like that. And so really meditate and begin to utilize the gift you have of visualization. We all have that. You know, some stronger than others, of course, but everyone has that ability, and honing in and focusing and utilizing that will help you greatly in the month of June, especially if you're dealing with a specific person or group of people, because this is the base or the world. So this is kind of more what's going on in 3D, right? The 3D realm. So okay, so card number 6 is White Lady, Mother of Pearl, bearing number 48. Okay, really beautiful card, and this card signifies the projected self in a position of power. Okay, and basically it's telling you that currently you're not, or you haven't been the master of your own destiny, and such is the price paid in order to gain certain powers. This card indicates mystical inclinations and occult faculties, but this is coupled with a weakness of character, and addiction to power-giving intoxicants such as drugs, alcohol, money, and so forth, at the cost of the exalted human qualities. Okay, and this is located in the heart space, and it shows a coldness and detachment from feelings. And so with that being said, there's definitely some things that you want to start maybe working on, as far as getting to the reason behind why you may be, seeking drugs or alcohol, or even chasing money. I did a video about the illusion of chasing money, and all of those things are addictions that really, they can be fought off, but you really have to want to stop. Not your friends, not your family. And so this card is signifying that it's gonna have to come from you, because you've already been like kind of closed off. You're a little cold, when it comes to relationships with others and things like that. So you just want to start to take that into consideration, especially going into the month of June. Your relationships are probably going to have a little bit of difficulty if you continue basically being cold-hearted. Okay. Card number 7, okay, is the Scarlet Woman, and it bears the number 3. So 3, this card is signifying the threefold nature of existence, as creation, preservation, and dissolution. The Trinity, the trine of astrology, the past, present, and future, the threefold cycle of destiny. Okay. This card indicates the importance of the Shakti, or female energy principle, to you, and her manifestation either as the mystic counterpart in the world, or as the attainment of her attributes within the self. It suggests a strongly passionate nature from the sensual to the spiritual realms, either latent or expressed in the heart of you. Okay. So there's I don't know if I mentioned it before, but these 4 cards here are basically the yin and yang. So this side here is the Shakti, or the female side, and then this is the male side, or the Shiva side. So with this showing up on the male side, there's definitely going to need to be a balance, because there's a lot of masculine, cold energy going on. So to balance that out, there's going to need to be some female energy, and it's more likely going to come in the form of a woman that is going to help you to break up this cold heart that you're having going on. It's probably going to be a lady or a woman or a girl that's going to help kind of balance that out, so that your relationships aren't going to be super awkward. Is all that comes to mind. Okay, because I don't know when I'm around someone that is kind of cold-hearted, it can be an awkward situation. It's like, how do I approach this person, or how do I, you say hi and things like that, but sometimes people that just doesn't even work or help. Okay, so card number 8 is the Mercury card. Okay, so it's signifying the truth of unity and invoking the concepts of masculinity as an active function related to the creative intellect. So there's going to be a spiritual fulfillment, enlightenment, distillation, sudden moments of deep realization. Like and because this is in the throat space, or throat chakra space, and so there's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of conversing with others. There's going to be a lot of sharing ideas of the things that you've been learning, and this will help, especially because we have, you know, the cold heart thing going on, but you have to be careful also, because this just amplifies Mercury energy as well. So you don't want to be too talkative, or too, you know, too talkative to the point where you're like, you're being an asshole or you're being a dick about it. Like, you want to share the information and build relationships, not to shut people out. Okay, so be cautious of that. Card number 9 is amusement, and it bears the number 38. Okay, and so this card is signifying the female power principle, Shakti, channeled along an occult path of fulfillment. Okay, and it signifies the promise of pleasure and fulfillment. And because it's circling, or it's an influence around the heart space, it tells of a deep love and respect for the mystic aspect of the female principle, with the indication of a fruitful and fulfilling love affair. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying before, there's definitely going to be a strong female energy that's going to be present, and it's going to help to balance you out, balance you out with the cold heart situation going on, and help to open you up, you know, and not to have your masculine coldness take control of everything. All right, and so we come to card number 10, which is the outcome of the month of June. What is going to be the outcome? It's the Rose Garden, and it bears the number 52. Okay, and so it's signifying the fulfillment of the path of intuition, and it's a highly pleasurable and fulfilling experience, or it's indicating that there's going to be a highly pleasurable and fulfilling experience in heightening your senses and taking a mystic position within the heart. And because it is located at the head space, the card tells of the realization of all the innermost desires as the outcome, particularly with regards to affairs of the heart. So this card, you really need to meditate on this card as the Garden of Delight, the essential nature principle as embodied within the psyche. Okay, so there's definitely going to be a blooming. There's the coldness will start to melt as ice does when summer approaches. Okay, so there's going to be definitely a positive, uplifting female energy coming into the picture, and through that there's going to be definitely a romantic relationship I can see, possibly, or some type of close relationship that's going to be developed. Okay, all right, so let's get these. All right, and so that was for the group that picked the pendulum. All right, and let's move on to those of you that picked the pyramid and the portal. Okay. All right. Okay, so card number 1 is Death Transformation. Card number 2 is Recall/Memory. Card number 3 is Mother's Milk. Card number 4 the Asylum. Card number 5, Maya, how she spins. Card number 6, Cutting Through. Number 7, the Hot Seat. Number 8, the Pillar of Fire. Number 9, the Phoenix. Number 10, Ganesha, Lord of Obstacles. All right. So, card number 1, which is the Death Transformation card, and it bears the number lucky 13. To me, the number 13 is lucky, but anywho, the combination of 1, the unity, and 3, the Trinity, indicating the perpetuity of the creative movement and the position at the center of all cycles. Okay, so this card is indicating the end of things as previously known, the breaking of ties, the death of the old self, paving the way for regeneration and enlightenment. There's going to be a change through transfiguration and realization of new opportunities. Okay, so this is the situation card, right? So, and it's located in the navel area. So there's basically, you're going to be cutting people off. You're just going to come to the realization that, you know what, this relationship or this group of people, whatever the case is that you when you were doing the meditation, when you were thinking about it, that group of people or that question that you were asking, this is, it's a strong card to be in position number 1. So basically there's going to be a like in your gut, you really feel like, you know what, it's time to end this. It's time to move on. It's one of those where you're like, I need to either be by myself, or I gotta find someone new that's gonna treat me better or be with me, things like that. Okay, card number 2 bears the number 50 and is the recall / memory card, and it's signifying the path of the unconscious as initiation. This is the point to stop and recollect before taking action. Remember the past in order to know how to act in the present. Okay, and because it was in the spleen, the spleen location, it tells of the need to enliven the body function to lead a more physical and active life. Okay, so you've probably been stagnant. The relationship that you are in, or the relationships, whether it's a friend relationship or a significant other or boyfriend or whatever, husband relationship, you guys have probably gotten into some type of routine, and where it's more of a homebody type of energy. So you want to start, June would be a good time to start doing things outside. Start, if walks are not your thing, just going out, being in, going to the park or going somewhere outside of the house. Okay, and so this card showing up, it's a really deep-seated unconscious thoughts. It's related to your unconscious thoughts, so it's because it's showing up in the spleen. It's a really deep-seated unconscious thought. Okay, and so, or deep-seated, it's related to your unconscious thoughts, but it's like a deep-seated, what's the word? Action or pastime. Like it's something that you always have done or you always do. And so it's going to be a good thing to take a step back And just remember that you need to start doing a little bit more on the activity level, okay, with your physical body. And that would more than likely help open up opportunities to meet someone new, okay? So card number 3 is Mother's Milk, bearing number 22. And this card is signifying the combined essential mother principle of attachment and nourishment. So there's a spiritual homesickness, the desire to get back to the primal source. Just as a baby longs to suckle the breast of a mother. It represents the aspiration of non-duality and can indicate that you should recognize the need for nourishment. And because it's around the heart space, it is concerned with emotion, such as with regard to a lover, okay, or a child. So it could go either ways depending on what relationships you're contemplating or thinking about. A lot of times it'll come up, when it's talking about love relationships, because we do, if you've been together for a long time, you do become dependent, as if, that's a source of nourishment for you, okay? But there's definitely, it can be hard, but because you are getting this information now, you'll have a better idea of how to navigate, okay? Card number 4, is Asylum, which is bearing the number 54. Okay, so number 54 is signifying the path of balance as an attribute of initiation. Okay, and so it's signifying to find a place of refuge and recuperation free from all worldly concerns. It's around the heart space, so you are more than likely thinking about, or you already have started taking refuge in the feelings and the emotions and also your inner well-being is showing up as a point of balance and the powerhouse of the body. And so it's going to be good to have some time alone, okay, and to really sort out your thoughts as to what you really want out of the relationship. If it's a relationship that's on a rocky foundation and you've been putting the effort in to try and stay with the person, but it's just not working out, like things are just not panning right, it's really time to take a step back and evaluate the situation, so that you're not stuck forever. It's easy, especially not to say abusive relationships, but that's an example, getting stuck into a relationship where it's hard to let go or to get out of. So you want to be cautious, and go ahead and take that time for yourself. Get that space that you need to make up your mind as to whether you want to continue on with this relationship or not. But more than likely you're not, because you've already you're already showing signs, or you're already thinking about, or you've already have cut motherfuckers off, and you're like, Okay, I need some time alone. So, okay, so card number 5 is Maya, how she spins, bearing the number 23. Okay, and so this card is signifying the combination of complementary opposites united with the threefold truth of all existence, as for creation, preservation, and dissolution. The number also suggests a midway point through which all sensory experiences converge as a hub of a will which emanates everything. Okay, and it's letting you know that there has been something blinding you, because it's indicating the great illusion. Okay, so someone in one of your relationships, whichever one you're thinking about or you're questioning, there has been a type of illusion there, and because this is the energy passing out, that veil is going to be opened, and you're going to be able to see through the fabric of existence, and you may not need to try and understand it. You may try and understand it, but it does indicate the need to withdraw from the ways of the world and to locate yourself in the position of the spinner. Okay, and because it's at the base, like I said before, it's the passing out of a cycle of destiny and a possible sexual entanglement. Okay, so like I said before, when we are in really deep relationships, or long-term, I should say, long-term relationships, they're hard to get out of. But this card is a really good card showing up because it's in this position, especially because it's something passing out. So there is going to be an opening for you to leave, if you know it, since that's been on your mind more than likely. Okay. Card number 6 is cutting through, bearing the number 49. Okay, so this is signifying the full resolution of the path of the self, the oculate experience linking this world to the next. So you want to act in a decisive and conclusive manner upon all problems of thought which inhibit clarity. Use your wisdom, which is right thinking, and means, which is right action, to achieve liberation from any such problems, and do not be afraid to eliminate concepts which are without any particular value. Okay, and this is located in your heart location, and so it indicates a very positive decision, or a very positive, decisive situation, the fruit of discriminating wisdom. Okay, so you're really going to be able to see through the bullshit, okay, and be able to kick that mofo to the curb if you need to, or cut that friendship off that's draining you. This is your heart card, so you're really you're going to be in the mindset and in the your intuition and things are going to be to the point where you're going to be able to cut them off without feeling guilty or things like that, because like we said before, the illusion is over. Okay, card number 5 told us that the illusion is over, and you can see clearly now that the clouds are moved, right? And card number 7. Oh, and that card, it's also it's indicating that there is going to be a resolution to the question, to our question of the day. Okay, so card number 7 is the hot seat, and it's signifying the deeper self-rooted in firm foundations and convictions. And it is the even number of balance, the 4 pillars of the universe, or the 4 directions. This card indicates being put on the spot, that a position of authority or responsibility has been thrust upon you, and that you are obliged, or you may feel obliged to make it your responsibility. And if it's gonna feel like it's a big urgency, like you have to do it, and you have to make the decisions, and it's gonna be really demanding on your inner conviction and your skill of being a powerful, utilizing your powers of leadership. It does also tell of a way through to the realization of ambitions, particularly those relating to authority and power. So you may not have had a strong position in the relationship before, but because now you're gearing up, or you've been thinking about it, this is putting it's on the male side, or the Shiva side, so you're gonna be you're gonna be having a backbone, you know what I'm saying, so that you can kick that person to the curb, or that you can cut that relationship off. And with you doing that, there's gonna be an acceptance of that responsibility that you are okay with. You feel and you know that you don't want to be there, or you don't want to work there, or you don't want to participate with this group anymore, or those people anymore. So you're going to have the quote unquote balls to stand up and say, I'm done. Okay. So we have card number 8, or position number 8, the Shiva, the pillar of fire, okay, bearing the number 32, and it's signifying the astral light coming from the fulfillment of spiritual ideals. This numerological, if I could spit it out, I'm going to say this concept is related to the psychic center chakra of the head region, which has traditionally 32 downward emanating rays, and to the final 32nd path of Malkuth in the Kabbalist system. This card represents a moment of illumination, a revelation, an understanding of the miraculous nature of all things in their essence. Okay, and so because it's at the throat space, there's basically, in its masculine energy, Shiva, okay, so you're gonna be able to verbally express yourself without fear, basically, okay. You're gonna be able to express what you're thinking without doubting yourself or having fear, like I said. Okay, card number 9. It's number 19, which is the Phoenix. Okay. And this is signifying the ultimate mystical attainment, as is suggested by the combination of the number of unity, which is 1, and the number of completion, which is 9. So this is signifying a rebirth, the rays of the sun re-emerging after the darkness of night, liberation of the spirit previously imprisoned in matter. Okay, and because it's around the heart space, and it's one of the influences, this is kind of your hopes and dreams, or not hopes and dreams, but your hopes or expectations. It's telling of an affair or a type of new relationship that's going to start. Maybe it already has started. You probably, not to condone cheating or anything like that, but it may have already happened. You may have found someone that treats you better, or that you vibe with better, that you have better vibes with. And so this relationship is budding, and you really like this person and you want to continue it, but the old relationship's like still hanging on to you. So you're really gonna need to go ahead and cut the ties in June. Will be the best time to do it. Okay, and the outcome card, which bears the number 5, which is Ganesha, Lord of Obstacles, and it's signifying organization and the pathway through all obstacles. This relates to ordered centering in the world and the entry through the inner mandala, the mystic circle of psychic protection. Okay, and so this card suggests that there are obstacles to be overcome, which we've already kind of got the picture, which is why I like to do the Tree of Life chart, because it gives a deeper reasoning why, or not really, well, yeah, I guess why. It answers more than just yes or no, it gives you a little bit more of an explanation of what's going on in your environment, inside your body, the stuff that's on the outside of the body affecting the inside and things like that. And so the obstacle that is clear is that obviously you're in a relationship that's in need of a transformation. It's time to stop suffering in silence, or stop suffering in a relationship that's not fulfilling you. And so I love that you are here. I know that these cards have helped me, and I hope you come back next time for our next question of the day. And yeah, I wish you well, and I will catch you guys on the next one. This has been your girl, Aquarii Moon. Peace.